Welcome to Injili Media.
In one of his recent, utterly pathetic and lamentable statement, Tucker Carlson has claimed that Muslims love Jesus. Tucker Carlson seems to have found a sudden love and passion for Islam and Muslims. I'm not going to go into that. That is his personal business. However, the statement that he has made regarding Muslims loving Jesus is worthy of scrutiny. First of all, Tucker Carlson has no clue what he is talking about. For your information, Tucker Carlson or Muhammad Tucker Carlson, Muslims even do not call Jesus by his right name. Their Jesus, Isa, has nothing to do with the Jesus of the Gospel or of the Bible. Since you do not understand the Islamic theology or doctrine, therefore I will not go into those details. However, just a few to mention for your kind information. The Muslims do not believe in the divinity or in the divine incarnation of Jesus. The Muslims do not believe in crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. The Muslims do not believe in atonement and salvation brought to us through Jesus. The Muslims do not believe in the gift of grace that we receive through Jesus. Rather, their doctrine focuses on works, not on grace that we receive through Jesus. Jesus calls God his Father, which is a kufr to the Muslims. And the list can go on and on. These are just few that I have mentioned. Moreover, the commandments that Jesus gave, do Muslims even know those commandments, let alone follow those commandments? Muslims are allowed to marry 4 wives. What did Jesus say about marrying? 1 man and 1 woman. How about divorce? How about halala? You might even not know what is halala. How about child marriage? Yes, by the way, child marriages. Countries like Pakistan, young underage girls, Christian girls, Hindu girls being kidnapped by the Muslims, being forcefully converted to Islam, and then being married to men much older than themselves. How about these? How about revenge? How about turning your other cheek? How about loving your neighbor as yourself? How about loving your enemies, praying for them? How about do unto others what you wish them to do unto you? And many, many more wonderful teachings of Jesus. Have you studied the Quranic text? Have you studied the Hadith? Have you studied the Fiqh? The few things that I have just mentioned. Cross-examine these with Islamic teachings. Just few that I have mentioned. Do Muslims really love Jesus? Yes, they do love young Christian girls who are the followers of Jesus and then kidnap them, forcefully marry them, convert them to Islam. This is what they love. And also you mentioned that you identify yourself more with a Pakistani taxi driver than with your own race. Well done. Have you ever lived in a Muslim country? Go live in Pakistan. Go live in Afghanistan. Live in Somalia, Sudan. See for yourself your newly found friends. Go and study Islam there. See for yourself. Experience for yourself how much Muslims love Jesus and how much they love those who follow Jesus. Just in 2025, 93% of the 5,000 Christians killed for their faith, 93% of those were in the Muslim countries. Do you have any clue of the persecution of Christians going around in Muslim countries? And you have the audacity of saying Muslims love Jesus. No, they don't. They even do not know who Jesus is. They only know Isa, who has nothing to do with Jesus. So, Tucker Carlson, here I am, prudent Injili, inviting you to a debate, wherever, whenever. Come and debate me and let me drill some understanding of Islam into your head. So, Muhammad Tucker Carlson, I shall be waiting for your response. And the last word, how can Muslims claim to love Jesus when they do not know the real Jesus?
Thanks for watching.